exactly what I was going to show you.
It's not the right show.
I didn't realise nonsense.
Quick.
It's always the right show.
I think we're like...
Spouting Nonsense is brought to you by Comedy Hotspot and is powered by Joe. Sitting about in the background is Comedy Hotspot's very own Jim Howard. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your hilarious host, the wonderful Keris Nelms.
Hooray!
Oh, he's got it as well.
Jonathan. Jonathan, we'll come to you in a second. Those of you at home, welcome to Spouting Nonsense, topical comedy chat show where comics impart their wisdom upon us. Joining us again, as for the last few weeks, I have to go to Jonathan first. All right, Jonathan?
Hello. Hey, how are you? Are you all right?
Who's your friend?
Oh, this is Marjorie. She just thought she'd sit in. She's helping me through.
It looked quite masculine.
Oh, no. It's very unfortunate that you, of all people, should think that a lady should look masculine. Bye, Marjorie. Okay.
Remind us where you are in the UK, Jonathan.
I'm in Moss Side in Manchester.
Hi,
Joe.
Hello, Joe.
Moss Side.
Moss Side. I'm a gang lord.
I never knew it was Moss Side.
I think
You've
that's
gone down in my estimate now. Harriet.
I live in the very posh bit of Moss Side, actually.
Is there a posh bit of Moss Side? Wow.
Yeah, my house.
Everyone got sound? Quite possibly.
Lance Dyer. It's Lance Dyer.
My dad.
This is Dad. Hello, Dad. Hello, Daddy.
Dad.
Hi, Daddy.
Oh, look at him. Jonathan, go back to Lance a minute, Joe. Jim. Go back to... I would, but I'd fuck him, Harriet. Oh, look at him. Oh, yeah. Yes.
He's not.
Do you want to borrow that gig, Mass?
Jonathan's team.
Is he on my team?
Well,
welcome him in sometime. He can meet Margaret.
Hello, the highlight of my Friday. Harriet, how are you, my love?
Hi, David.
Hello, David.
Hi, David.
Harriet, remind us where you are in the UK.
I'm not in the UK. Remember, I'm in Zimbabwe.
Oh, cool. With your extended family. Yes, I just realised I could see the sun streaming through the windows of your rice hut in Zimbabwe.
Well, it's just two curtains.
And of course, join us again, Love Dev
Hello. Hi, Keris.
You all right, love?
Hi, Helen.
Yeah, I'm good. You all right?
Yeah. Remind us where you are, my darling.
I'm in B44 King Standing, Birmingham. Brat.
B44.
I used to live there, love.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, Harriet used to live around the corner from me.
Anyway, first things first, we've got these three fuckheads here with us again tonight because you keep asking them to come back. And every week I'm going to have to go for more and more therapy once I come out of this. So anyway, if you're watching at home, please share the link. That would be fantastic. You can also donate if you have any spare cash. That would be lovely. And also tell us where you're watching the show from. First things first, we're going to do the interesting facts. Who do you think these facts relate to out of these three? Who once went for a walk down a sewer and got stuck? Could it be Love Dev, Harriet, or Jonathan, who once went for a walk down a sewer and got stuck? Love Dev, Harriet, or Jonathan? Give your answers. That's fact one. Fact two, who used to race around the Royal Mail depot in buggy carts during the mail strike, making the most of their time? Obviously, do you think it could be Love Dev, Harriet, or Jonathan? That's fact two. Let us know who you think it is. And fact three, who once met Jimmy Savile when they were a paper Mandeville and he put them in a headlock? Oh, is that what he called it? Could that be Love Dev, Harriet, or Jonathan? So if you think you know who those facts relate to, please join in. We're going to go straight in with... I'm scared. We're going to go straight in. Oh, Oldham. Love it. Going to go straight into one of Love Dev's topics today.
Oh, no.
Love Dev says, whenever I eat seeded bread, one of the seeds always gets lodged in the dumb button. Now, I thought this was going to say teeth because I was like, yeah. And then it said, I put different words on here. Dung button is a a saying I've never heard ever before. But I
Dung
quite like
button.
it.
Dung button.
Talk us through
Yeah.
where you keep your dung button, Love Dev.
There's
So
like a
love
little. Yeah.
Seeded bread. Do you know what seed gets stuck, or is it a different?
Well, you know
Sorry,
when you eat Hovis bread, the seeded bread,
Yeah,
there's more than one seed.
there is. There's little
think-
black round ones. There's
Yeah.
little like sesame seeds or
Yeah.
linseed seeds.
Sunflower seed, maybe. Feels like a
That's a big one,
sunflower.
mate. If that one gets stuck,
Sunflower's massive.
That's why it gets stuck, love. Honestly,
My
So-
fiance's bogies are like sunflower seeds, and if he throws them out the window on a journey, I say we're going to end up bloody cutting the tires if it sort of if we go over it.
your other half bogies are like sunflower seeds.
Yeah, really hard and pointy,
Wow.
like shrapnel.
how do you know the texture of your fiance's bogies?
So, Love Dev, it's a specific Hovis.
Because I hear the noise.
The noise of what? When he flicks it onto the bongos.
So, Love Dev, which Hovis is it? Hovis, like seed
The
sensation?
seeded
or-
bread. I can't remember what it's called now. It's some seeded
Oh,
bread
Pete,
they've got.
look at
They've
Pete
only
on a
got the
break
one
night.
Oh,
batch.
bread's
I have some
machine.
linseed bread cooking in my machine. You animal,
Don't
Pete.
put
You
any
know I get
seeds
ready
in
to live on
there,
a
mate.
Friday
Very
night.
pretty in his photograph in the French Revolution or whatever's
Yeah,
happening.
So, Love Dev, do you still eat the seeded bread, or have you moved on to like an unseeded variety?
I've tried a different brand now. So I've tried
Yeah.
LD's seeded bread.
Yeah.
Seems to be much better.
Cool. Okay, cool. That's
I
good.
think what it is, you know when they make the Hovis bread?
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
You know how you make lentils? You ever
brought us
made lentil curry?
Yes,
You got to keep the lentils in the water overnight so it goes
Yeah.
soft.
yes.
I reckon Hovis don't do that.
There
They
you
just
go.
throw it in.
They bake
I
Throw
them.
it in.
reckon that lockdown, mate. I reckon a visit to Hovis factory is on the cards, and we'll
Show them your
investigate it.
dung bottom studded with seeds. Say,
Yeah,
look
if
at what
anybody is
you've
watching
done.
this now, it will be these four of us, an investigative program, and we will investigate all these things that Love Dev comes up with, like
Like a panorama special.
backed by
No license.
Warburtons. So, like,
License got your back, but
Jonathan, what's your favourite type of bread? What bread do you eat a lot of?
oh, well, I eat all the bread. Look at the shape of me.
I love bit bread.
I like a nice crusty white. If a treat, a nice fresh. I once made bread quite frequently, and I was rather good at it for a while. But I did have a tendency to come home and do it drunk, which was fine until one day when I clearly had rather too much of other substances as well, and so I woke up to find this bread that I'd clearly just dropped, like it looked like a cow pat of bread, on the floor of the kitchen. It was perfect and perfectly cooked. It had chipped my floor where I dropped it, like the edge of the tray had. So I picked it up and thought, oh, well, I'll have a bit of fresh bread then, because floor bread in those days was fine. I was very young and drunk, and unlike now. And I'd obviously hit a little fugue state when putting in the ingredients, because it was the saltiest thing. I'd obviously just gone, oh, add a bit of salt. Add a bit of salt.
And I mean, and this is coming from somebody that probably swallows a lot of salty things.
Zinc is very good. Zinc is very good. And I was going to say, if seed gets stuck on my dung, but no, let's not go there.
Alex wants to know why you're looking like a posh boy tonight. Shirt and tie. He's just dressed up, isn't he, Jonathan?
Why? It's a sort of glamorous cravat, you evil witch.
Cravat.
Oh,
with
'cause
the
it's sort of
jewels.
Quentin
Yeah, but we know with Jonathan that below where this is filmed, he's going to be wearing Crocs.
I do not possess Crocs. I am, on the other hand, wearing the accompanying part of this outfit, and I need to get back to my friends in a very short amount of time. Me and Marjorie are being missed in there. There's only so much they can do without us.
I'm the croc wearer, as we all know, so let's not give Jonathan that crown. I have 10 pairs of Crocs, Jonathan. You are very
What?
welcome.
Why?
Because she's
Including a pair of the silver glittery showbiz Crocs.
Because-
Harriet, did you know there's a town in Indiana in the US called Dyer?
Oh, Probably where your
That
surname
might be
from.
why, David, that in Scrabble, diet is a word.
No,
Woo!
that's a proper noun. That wouldn't work at all.
Yeah, that wouldn't work. Yeah.
Dyer is somebody who
So we're
dies.
talking bread. If you're watching at home, please join in with the link. Helene
Thank you,
is
Helen.
to endorse it. Loving the peacock bread, Jonathan. If you're watching at home, please share the link. Leather speedos. And we can get more people watching. Harriet, bread of choice.
Well, here's the thing. Why are you naked wearing bread? Why is the seeds going in your tummy button?
I think they arrive via his mouth, darling. I don't think he's.
No,
he's
they go in my mouth.
button, not belly button.
There's a bit that stays somewhere where it shouldn't be.
She thought
It's like when you find a popcorn in your pocket and it just stays there.
Do you know,
I
Keris?
You said, why do you call your belly button your dung button?
Who said that?
Nobody said that.
You said that. Jonathan said that. Someone
I said,
said,
why do you call your arsehole your dung button?
I was like,
Do you know what, Keris? I
was?
always wanted to be on QI, and this feels like as close as I'm fucking getting. I'm not
This is it, Jonathan. I'm afraid this is your pinnacle of your career. Harriet, you fucking confused yourself and the rest of us now.
No, someone said that though.
No,
Well,
I said,
one of the
where
voices.
on your body is your dung button? Because the phrase was new to me. But I didn't say, is it your belly button? Because I'm not completely out of my skull on Kissman.
I thought, you know, there's like regional, pardon?
What bread you eat?
Wait a minute!
Harriet, I will just tell you what happened when you sat back to the.
I didn't realise you had that kind of power. I've swapped places. I feel
all around now. I feel bad. Sorry, Harriet. Go on,
I
Harriet.
like granary bread. All right.
Granary. Has that got
battery?
We've only fucking touched on one subject and we're 12 minutes in.
Grandmothers, grands. That's what it's got in it. Granary bread made out of real grandmothers in Cornwall. That's what she likes.
You can get more viewers and donate if you possibly can. Harriet, we'll go on to one of yours. Would you harbour a fugitive if you deemed what they did was for the greater good? So Harriet, been in this situation, Harriet?
Define fugitive.
Define fugitive.
I've seen Jonathan's shoes. They were definitely not Crocs, not with 8-inch heels. I think you can get Crocs with 8-inch heels. Carry on, Harriet.
Well, this is what I love. So I did these questions so long ago that I don't even remember. So that's great. Yeah, I would. I definitely would harbour a fugitive. Who's to say I aren't now?
I aren't. Is it your aunt? Is your aunt on the run? Was that a clue?
That would be more realistic. I mean, I personally live down the road from Ley Hill Open Prison, where many a fugitive escapes from every now and again, and that's where they held Dirty Dan when he was arrested.
What?
The fictional character,
or
he was wanking on screen.
Yeah.
Well, the actor was. I don't know whether they arrested him for that.
Wait,
but the character
murdered.
The character on EastEnders went to jail. I think Harris is mixing up fiction and truth here.
He was wanking in EastEnders.
The actor from EastEnders was wanking on screen, and therefore that's part of why he got dropped. But he also Dirty Den. Why do I know this? Oh my god! Dirty Den murdered somebody and went to jail, and that's apparently
it was real life. He was in jail. But Jonathan, would you, Leslie Grantham? Yeah. Let me just Google it. Jonathan, would you harbour a fugitive if what they were doing?
Well, totally. If I believed in it, especially if they'd been bodybuilding while inside, obviously. They might be... No, that's terrible. That's terrible. Yeah, I suppose I would. I suppose I'd harbour someone you could be then part of the that legend of that Scottish woman who harbours Bonnie Prince Charlie and rows him across the lake to save his life. You could be like that, couldn't you? In a big frock, going, isn't it?
Jonathan, all your references are from the 1920s.
No, that's not the 1920s. That's not like the 18th century. Bonnie Prince Charlie was the throne set, but it's common knowledge.
Out there.
Oh, okay.
If you fell out with your fugitive, by default, you become their hostage. Ooh.
Well, we can only hope. We can only hope. I've got a ball gag. I'm ready to go.
Just quickly, Jonathan, and
What?
FYI, we're learning shit here and everything. He, Leslie Grantham, who played Dirty Den, was a convicted murderer, having spent 10 years for the killing of a West German taxi driver. And he was in Ley Hill Prison in Gloucestershire.
Wait a minute. So this was after EastEnders.
Before
EastEnders, and then they
How did he
they
get
give
the
him
job?
the part.
That's outrageous, isn't it?
Experience, Harriet.
Dev, would you harbour a fugitive?
I'm not going to lie, I didn't really get the question. When you say harbour, do you mean put them in a boat?
No. Unfortunately not. It was actually quite a big word for Harriet. I'm surprised she.
Harbour as in act as a harbour, as in somewhere they can stay. I'm assuming that's how you met your wife. Isn't it?
No, I wouldn't. My missus wouldn't have them in the house.
Yeah, but what if they did something really noble? What if?
Well, what are you talking about? What's noble in your eyes that they then get?
All right. The chap standing in front of the tanks in Tiananmen Square, or Nelson Mandela on the run. You'd harbour them, wouldn't you?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Robin Bloody Hood. I mean, if you were in a wimple and Robin Hood turned up, you'd go, "Come in, Robin Hood. Come in. Let me save you from the sheriff's men."
Jonathan.
Sorry, that's quite an old reference, Harriet. What? Sorry, what?
I seriously reckon you're going to have to dumb down some of your references because every time you do it, Love, Dev, and Harriet are like a wimple.
I'm on QI. I'm on QI. I tell you.
You are with me, my darling. We're going to move on. If you're watching at home, please share the link. You can join us live. Put the live comments up. And Jim from Comedy Hotspot would love to. What are you doing? Getting all close and personal.
My mouse stopped working. I need my mouse.
You can share the link to get us more viewers, and you can also donate. We're going to go on to one of yours, Jonathan. Let's hope they're fucking interesting this week.
Listen, right, I was the calm oasis you looked forward to in the first week. How have I degenerated into beige is the new black?
Honestly, if you weren't here, I'd lose my shit. So, Jonathan, if you're like the film genre, what would it be? And who would you be the hero in your movie? Oh, there we go. If I was a film genre, what would it be? And would you be the hero in your movie?
Well, obviously what I think everybody likes to think they would be. And I think I like to think that mine would be one of those really sophisticated, overwritten 1930s. Sorry, Harriet, 1930s. Things with, Spencer Tracy and Catherine Hepburn being witty in evening wear. But I suspect you must have heard of evening wear. I mean, you must have heard of that. Yeah, exactly. And I'd be the witty, dark, mysterious hero. I always quite fancied myself in a hat, smoking in the lamplight in Something by Hitchcock. But I think that's probably not going to be the case. Is that I'm going to be the comic relief in a subpar straight to video Disney film. I think I'm going to be the warthog.
Oh,
but
you'd make a lovely warthog.
No, you wouldn't. You could be the stylish, glamorous person. No, you just make a lovely warthog. Fuck you.
I know you'd bring your flair to it. It might be a boring warthog. I'd have that certain.
Not the normal one. I'm literally not that. I refuse to be normal.
Okay, Love Dev. What film genre?
I would have an animation, but based on a computer game. So, yeah, Grand Theft Auto. That would be my.
That wasn't where I thought you were going at all. I thought you were going with Super Mario Brothers or something.
Helene says Genie. I was going to say Genie.
That seemed very obvious, and I'm very up for playing the genie in any possible circumstances.
Have you been a genie in Panto?
I've been Slave of the Ring. We've discussed this, Carys. Were you on drugs?
Oh, yes. That was in our personal life.
It's almost like you tune out when I'm speaking because you find me so tedious.
So, Love Dev, would you be the hero?
Yeah.
Or...
My hero would be Russell from the movie Up. Do you know Russell?
Oh, is that who you'd be?
I'll be the little fat kid, yeah. I shouldn't really say fat, but yeah, the little chubby one. But in a Grand Theft
I
Auto.
shouldn't say fat. Chubby fucker. I like that. I realised I was the best supporting actor Oscar. Harriet, I'm scared to ask, what genre of film would your life be?
I don't know really, but I was going to say animated as well because I think I'm more like a cartoon than a real person in real life.
Yeah.
So
one of those really weird Swedish films where nothing apparently happens and people occasionally cross the screen wearing a horse head. You could be one of those.
Yeah.
Jack Horseman.
A lot of people meet Harriet and go, she can't be real. They're thinking behind that. Harriet, well done.
So I'd play myself, I guess.
Thank you.
There was once I was at a gig and this person in a wheelchair had sounds like a iPad on their wheelchair, and their ancillary tried to turn the sounds off because they were playing all these sound effects whilst I was doing a set. And then this person just punched his ancillary in the head. and then I was like, well, I'm not going to stop him. And then all these noises were just happening whilst I was doing my set. But I was like, it quite suits my act.
You start going,
yes, it's just like...
Well, there we go then. It's like short 32 and all that amalgamated. I like it. I like it. If you're watching at home, please share the link so we can get more viewers. It is a Friday night. People are very busy. They might want to come and watch it later, which is fabulous. I'm going to go back to one of Love Dev's that I'm really scared about it.
Even I'm scared. I can't remember what it is.
Is number 13 really a bad number? Sometimes I work on an elderly ward that have 21 bedrooms, but no number 13. Instead, they have 12A and 12B.
Yeah.
A lot of hotels do that as well.
Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, loads of hotels go from floor 12 to floor 14. They don't have a 13, and they don't have room 13. People don't like it. Yeah.
So where's this come from, do you think? Because this is obviously before we were born.
Ask Jonathan if it's from the 1920s.
Yeah, Jonathan, when did this happen?
I don't know where number 13 comes. To be honest, it's always no. I don't. I honestly don't because it doesn't make any. I don't think it's numerology like one of those witchcrafty type things. No. I was going to say maybe it's a. It might be some, no. There are 12 disciples, aren't there? So with Jesus, Judas would be the 13th in the group. And I wonder whether it's something, because a lot of things come back to biblical stuff. And there's always that thing about if there's 13 at dinner, the first one to get up dies. So I wonder whether it's Judas. Judas might be the answer about where it actually comes from. That's a bit tedious, but it's true. I've made it up. Judas? I do still speak to Judas because I'm that fucking old, you evil bitch. Pink doesn't suit you. So, 13's always been my lucky number. Whenever I've got 13 in a raffle, I've won a prize.
I thought you were going to say, whenever I've got 13 men in my bedroom, it's always very fucking lucky.
Obviously, that's been
no house number 13 on my road. Interesting. Any other? So on the hospital ward.
Yeah.
12A and 12B. Do they kick the bucket quite often?
I think one of them has died in 12B. But B's also looks like 13, doesn't it? B. 3. 1.
Oh, number 4 is considered a lucky trainer.
Is it?
Lizards.
What other things miss 13 out? There's quite a few things, isn't
there?
No, there's definitely Friday. They definitely happen.
Yeah,
Millipedes don't have a 13th leg.
Really?
No. They do.
How many do they have? 8?
They have even numbers of legs. There's obviously a 13th. Because if there wasn't a 13th, they couldn't get to 14.
Prove it.
Right. I just interested. Oh, somebody said airline rose. Is that
Yes.
Oh yes, they don't have. People don't like it. It's like black cats in rescue centres that stay there for ages because people don't like black cats. Yeah, people are weirdly superstitious about 13. A lot, and I think I would embrace the number 13. I'd be happy to sit in row 13 because it's my lucky number. I feel if there's
So that's your luck. Harriet, have you got a lucky number?
No.
666. Love them.
It's her national.
Have you got a lucky number?
I don't have a lucky number, but I have the number 3 in my gamer tag. So it's Love Devil 3. Add me up.
Love Devil.
Love Devil. I bet you get the wrong kind of gamers coming onto your.
Bearing in mind what he was doing before when I was. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Right, so we're going to go. Wasn't there supposed to be 13 steps? Oh.
What's the gallows?
We're learning shit.
You know, where you get.
Where people are hanged.
We're learning shit today. This is good. I like. Look, Harriet, you're going to your head's going to explode tonight.
That's really interesting. And what Jonathan was saying earlier about the disciples, that was really interesting as well.
What is
thanks, Harriet.
If we're not laughing, we're learning.
I think a baker's dozen is 13 because you've got one spare in case one goes wrong, so you've still got a dozen. If people order a dozen, then you've got like one that might just be a bit shit.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck you.
Right, let's go on to one of Harriet's ones. Show is meant to be interesting. Whatever the fuck we want it to be. It's a free-form, ever-evolving, organic show. Harriet's point here, topic: if every time you farted, a beautiful and tasty sausage would pop out of you, would you eat it?
Excuse me, I did not say dung. That's not something I fucking say. I'm outraged about that.
Dung button.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Years ago, I wrote this article and it was about my mum who had just died. And someone changed all the stuff I said about my mum. And I was like, you can't change stuff like that. None of this is the same.
So what did you say instead of chocolate?
I would have said ass.
That is foul ever. Well,
Sorry.
If out a tasty sausage, would you eat them, Harriet?
What was it again?
I
believe you put that chocky hoop.
No, you didn't. You didn't.
Yeah, I would. Rabbits eat. Thank you, Lisa.
So do pigs.
Yeah, but pigs are grubby bastards. They eat humans, don't they? They eat through bone.
Dogs can't smell the element. They just smell whatever you eat.
Eating her ass sausage. Jonathan.
Yeah, why not?
If I could just be clear.
Just quickly, 1 second. Yes. Harriet, would it have a certain flavour? Would it be a certain type of sausage?
It'd be very
smoky. Have a smoky
tomato, lots of paprika.
Smoky.
Rusty.
Another one.
Rusty Sheriff's badge. Let's be clear. If it's a beautiful and tasty sausage, then I think it'd be a waste. And I have to say that I've eaten quite a lot of
like that
over the year.
With a Cumberlands.
It would feel hypocritical of me to say no, I wouldn't do that when I've had my face round up. Oh, I'm so sorry. I said that out loud. I beg your pardon.
Harriet, just to clarify, does it come out cooked or do you have to cook it?
Comes out cooked.
Wow, brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. You could sell them on.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
No, not scat. No, let's be clear. I don't mean scat, Alex Thompson, as well. You bloody well fuckery no.
What's that?
I remember you. Not scat. That is where you're actually eating a person's feces.
Oh no! Right.
Yeah.
Well, hang on.
I thought you were saying like Scatman John.
No, not no, not that.
This question. Love Dev hasn't answered the first part yet. Love Dev, would you eat the sausage?
Only
cool.
if it didn't contain seeds.
I don't think you understand what a sausage is.
Furthermore, Harriet, would you feed them to your family?
Yeah. Everyone loves sausages here.
Surely it would only be like
And you're like, I've got my stomach's a little bit on the dodgy side.
it's only hygienic to eat your own fart sausages in the desert, when you're desperate. It can't be all right to hand them round at barbecues. Here you go.
You don't even need a barbecue.
Pardon?
You have to tell them. Could you not just fart them out in the kitchen and bring them out on a silver tray?
Or if you didn't want your family to eat your ass sausages, you could just go to the supermarket, take out their sausages and put in your sausages, and then take away their sausages.
Like a sausage terrorist. Like when there's people who
clink it back up.
Who poison vegetarian food or something, or poison vegetarian. Like you're getting a big arse sausages.
We could expand on this, really, couldn't we? If you wanted a constant food to come out of any orifice of your body, I'd probably go for macaroni cheese.
And where would it come from? Sorry.
Well, probably my vagina, because there's nothing else up in there.
Imagine macaroni cheese coming out and you've forgotten. So without you realising, Jonathan's granted you this wish because he's a genie. And then you wake up tomorrow morning and a whole fucking mac and cheese for your family comes dumping out of your bag.
Again, for your family, I'm not sure it's okay to just go sharing these vagina cheeses.
Well, I was going to say, first, I'd have to differentiate between whether it was discharge or...
I'd say the pasta would be a clue.
How pretty, Pete, is in that photograph?
You think we can open our own farmer's market. This is good. What would you have, Harriet? What food?
Orifice.
What food, if you could just produce, your body could just produce food, the one food for the rest of your life.
Do you know what it would be? It would be crisp. Because if I was...
How uncomfortable!
Because if I was dying at gigs, doing really shit, I'd just blast my crisps at everyone, and then they'd be really happy. Yeah, like Pringles.
Well,
I mean,
your wrists are not an orifice.
Once you pop, you can't stop.
Your wrists are not an orifice. You can't put these out your hand.
Nipples. The nipples count.
Nipples are not. Oh, I suppose they are, aren't they?
Your nipples. There we go. Harriet would produce crisps out of a nipple.
I think they would chafe. So that's not how you spell it.
Jonathan, what food?
That's chaff.
I'm upset by this whole concept. But I suppose if I could have an extra vagina I wasn't using for other purposes, I could produce caviar on the grounds that it comes from a fish's vagina in real life. So I could have a vagina producing caviar, a caviar producing vagina, because I don't really need it for other things, and then it could stay clean.
I could just see that in Jonathan Mayer's genie vagina caviar. Love that.
I would have rice, but
it would expand in the heat, though.
It's already cooked, rice, but it comes out one at a time. So I'm there for it, and it comes out of my eyes.
Oh,
so it looks like I'm crying. Just crying rice.
What's the tea? Curry and rice. Dad, come on.
Give me an hour.
Give me an hour?
Yeah, because they come out one at a time.
You'd be like those Virgin Mary statues who are bleeding. Look, he's producing light from his eyes again.
Basically, if you just joined us,
go away again. Run.
I'd have cider coming out my, you know what.
No.
If you're just joining us, this might not make any sense. I'd like to say you could watch it from the beginning, but it still won't make any sense, because this is the fucked up show of your week. This is Spouting Nonsense. We do it here just to make your Friday night a little bit happier. If you can share the link, that would be lovely, so people can watch it after the fact. We're all on here, and you can donate as well. We're going to go to one more of Jonathan's facts.
Yay! No more question.
Is this
I am not normal.
is this reality? What?
Oh, I know what this is. Right. Settle in. Right. So it was that whole thing about, isn't it? Is it about whether or not this reality that we're in right now that is actually a matrix? Are we actually in a simulation? Right. And there's been some sort of calculation where they've kind of gone not only right, if it's possible. Again, I'm not completely clued up on this, and I decided not to do homework or research because that seems to take the fun out of this hour. But there was a thing whereby basically, if it were possible that this was a simulation, then it's almost certainly a simulation, if that makes any sense. Like if the maths works out, then it's almost certainly been done. So we're in a simulation. But you know, if any of you play like computer games, you play like a simulation game. Like you start off going, "I build you this cathedral. I build you like the Sims. You go, I build you this beautiful house. I put on a conservatory. I make you happy. I educate you. I send you out to work." And then you get bored, and you end up going, "And now you can have a fucking earthquake. And here's a disease. And why don't you die? And there's a sinkhole. And here's some murder hornets." And I just wonder, right, just looking at 2020, like if the simulation theory is true, do you not feel like this is the end of the game where whoever's playing the simulation has got bored with us and is just going, murder hornet, COVID-19?
Jonathan?
Yeah.
Whose game could it be?
Well, no, the point is they're not in the game.
The aliens. They're gods. The aliens, Jonathan.
Aliens, Love Deb's gone for.
Aliens,
got it. There we go, as well.
Aliens have done it.
Well, it's taken 4 weeks. It's taken 4 weeks, but I am the normalest person in the room.
Just quickly.
This feels like a 12-step program that we've just gone. What a breakthrough for Harriet!
No,
wait, take those bloody labels off the screen before I.
What is Jonathan is the fact that she actually thinks that. She's fucking mental. So we'll just humour her. Yeah, love. Yeah, you're the most normal person in this group. Yeah.
Teenage aliens having a tantrum. I agree. Having a tantrum. They're doing that kind of like, fuck you people for not appreciating. They've destroyed the cathedrals and yeah, exactly.
So, do you think we're in a computer game being played by aliens? What the fuck is that?
Maybe, but it's funny you say that, Jonathan. Now,
I'm on the wavelength. Finally, I'm on. How is this the last 5 minutes? We've only been going 20. Finally, I'm on the wavelength of these fucking nutters. I've done it.
That's a pint of vodka, Jonathan. We fucking hope it is. Last 5 minutes. Any questions for our comics? Send them in. So, Love Dev, do you think the aliens are playing a game?
Well, when I started care work, a friend of mine said, "Can you imagine there's another world where they're the carers and you're the patient?" And ever since he's told me that, I don't know. That doesn't answer the question, but
no, it doesn't. But it is weird.
Yes, well, it's like the films where the dead people are actually the live people, and like
all along. Yeah.
Harriet, do you think we're in some kind of simulation that's being played by?
So. I wish someone would just press pause and then we could just have a rest.
Yeah. Save the game, or should we just go back to the start and try and do it all again?
Come along.
We're going to do the facts in a second, but let's go to one more of Love Devs. Do you think you have had a past life? We obviously know Jonathan's still in that life now. I've always
that's general knowledge. What I have is an education. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. No, it is. Love Dev always thought he was in a band playing the double bass guitar. Fabulous, Love Dev.
Do I look like a bass player?
No.
Does that look like more like a cello player?
Yeah.
Looks like a sitar.
Not a good. That's not bass though, is it? No.
What kind of band was it? Was it a rock band? Was it a boy band?
No, it was like a 1950s band.
Oh,
Maybe
Yeah.
heard of them.
Jonathan's watching live.
Jonathan's still in it.
Jonathan, do you think you've had a past life? No, I out of the three of you there, I would say that you're probably more in tune with that kind. I'm not doing the dick now. I'm being serious.
All right, serious. It's an interesting question. I'm not. I think I tell you what's interesting about this is all those little kids who go. That's where I. Like kids under the age of like 5 who do this kind of weird. That's where I lived with my other mother. That's where I died. That's where and whilst I as a small child, because I was adopted, my father was from Mauritius, and I knew I was born in Lancashire, and without having this information properly, or maybe I did, I don't know, but I used to talk about when I was in Mauritius. When I was in Mauritius, I did this and this and this, and I did these weird. I said these weird things to my parents, where they're kind of going, "That's actually quite odd," because it's sort of like I talk about places that existed, and they were kind of. I go, when I was in Mauritius, I go to blah, and then I forgot it. There was a point at like the age of 4 or 5 where it stopped happening. But they were genuinely a bit freaked out. But I used to call it Lancashire. You say Lancashire's got lovely beaches. Lancashire. I used to, and also I had this manipulative edge to it. So I go, well, in Lancashire was always a light ice cream. I'd say, it was like the capital of Mauritius is called something like Port Louis, and I had this word that I used to. I go, well, when I was allowed to go to. Had I been entered by spirits? No, tragically not. Later on, however, I was entered by. Okay, let's leave that.
Only alcoholic spirits. Only alcoholic spirits. Harriet, have you ever lived there?
Funny you should say this, right?
Oh,
here we go.
Horses, here we are. Deal of the good stuff, Harriet. Come on.
Harriet believes she controlled the world.
Don't forget, she's the normal one.
No, this is normal. The other day, my fiance was telling me that he was, in fact, he was famous in a past life. He was a famous driver called Stefan. And he drove people around. He was well known.
Sense famous and also driver, like a motor.
Well, that's where his story fell apart, because I was like, why is he so famous if he's just a driver? And then he panicked, and then it was, no, he was just lying.
Oh, see, look, because he
knows. That is normal. That is normal. Men lying is normal.
Hang on.
I'll tell you this, though. When I died twice back in the day, I actually, because people go, did you see anything? And I actually, this is completely true, saw the tops of the surgeons' heads. So how would I if I was being tinkered on like this, how would I be looking down?
That I believe, you see. I like that. Right, anyway, we're going to come to the end. Cut off EastEnders, Harriet.
Yeah.
We are winding down the show. We had those 3 facts at the beginning. We'll see who they relate to. We'll just go back over those. If you had your idea who it belonged to, then please let us know. Fact 1: who once went for a walk down a sewer and got stuck? I don't know any of these. I can only imagine it would be Harriet.
Is it you, Harriet?
Yeah.
It is you. What is?
What did you do down the sewer?
Well, it's just what we used to do for a laugh when we were younger.
Of course.
If you
lived in where did you live?
Yeah.
Well, there's lovely walks and beaches, and you thought, fuck it, we'll go down the sewers.
There's only so many days in the week you can go to the beach.
Yeah, 7 of them.
Sorry.
Were you looking for a clown?
Or some poo?
Oh, no. Fucking,
they
what was it? The
down here.
The dung button.
Let's go to fact 2. Who used to race around the Royal Mail depot in buggy carts during the strikes? Now, no offence to Jonathan, I couldn't see you.
Yeah.
in fucking
This
Royal
is
Mail
my
uniform.
fact. That's actually my fact. When I was
No.
in my year out, I took a temporary job to pay for university at the Royal Mail, and it's not me. You're
No.
actually right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's me. We used to do it when the strikes were on. So you know the mailbox in Birmingham? That used to be the Royal Mail depot. And here's an interesting fact. They've got underground tunnels that go from there all the way to New Street Station.
Yeah, Harry was in them. That's where Harry got stuck.
Yeah, she was down there looking for poo.
And so the last one, no surprise really. Fact 3.
How is this not a surprise?
While they were a patient at Stoke Mandeville, and he put them in a headlock. Jonathan, explain.
Well, I broke my foot when I was about 12, and we were living in Buckingham.
That age.
Yeah.
Which foot?
one of the ones in the end of my feet. Which one was it? It was this one, right? It was this one. Love Dev. It was this one. And I was so I'm 12, and my mum told me to Stoke Mandeville to have plaster put on and blah blah blah. And as we were coming out, Jimmy Savile was tottering into Stoke Mandeville for completely legitimate business. That was why he had a flat there. Nothing wrong with that. But of course, in my head, he was an exciting television person. So I literally went, it's Jimmy Savile, and he put me in a headlock and walked along with me, and I sort of bounced along on my broken foot for a bit, and everybody laughed because it was hilarious.
Your head was near his penis.
No, because it wasn't quite girl oriented, molesty wise.
No, it was a bit above, Bernie.
Oh, was he?
Different show.
David.
All I'm saying is,
he always went for the vulnerable.
My mother was right there, and she was a very formidable Yorkshire woman. And if she'd thought he was doing anything dodgy, she would have killed him. Unfortunately, with one blow, but he certainly, it's just really odd that I had quite a lot of physical contact for about 5 minutes with this man when this stuff cut. I just think, thank goodness that was it.
It shows what an awful person he was, that he's dragging you along with your broken fucking
exactly. The vulnerable.
Exactly. Looking,
he's crippled. He can't run.
At the time, I'm laughing and thinking this is brilliant and hilarious. And I'm pretty as a girl. And but looking back, I kind of go, wow, that was not okay.
Anyway, we're going to end on that really disgusting,
disturbing.
Interesting. It was interesting.
Yeah. Remember
it. Sorry about that. Sorry.
Share the link for us so we can get more viewers after the fact. Thank you for joining in. If you have, you can donate if you've got the money. Love Dev, what have you got coming? Have you got anything to promote, my love?
I've got my podcast, a crazy little thing called Love Dev. There it is.
There it is. Jonathan, wow, look at the difference.
Podcast. It makes that crazy little Love Dev shit look. It's called Jonathan. Thank you for the music. It's won an award. It's a complete lie. I've got Jonathan Mary. That's all I've got. Just Jonathan Mary doing bedtime stories.
Fab. Harriet?
Oh, Joe.
There she is. Harriet Dyer. Barking Tales.
Oh, look. That's good,
got
isn't it?
a
Thank
mental
you,
health
Dev.
show every Wednesday. And I'm running out of mental people, in fact, to mental comedians to bloody do it.
Do you want me to come on, darling?
Are you mental? You are, aren't you,
I'm quite
Jonathan?
mental. Well, I realise in this context I don't look mental, but I've had massive, mental.
Recruiting. I'm recruiting.
That's it. We're gonna go.
Sorry.
Bye, everybody. Thank
Bye.
you for
I'm not normal. I'm not bloody normal.